I think Yashraj and Dharma have this bit of an ego that we are Yashraj and Dharma. He got ridiculous roles like Bombay to Goa and all that. लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि acting में सुर नहीं है. माहौल तो I don't think काफी बदला है. But I think जो बदला है and very quickly is technology. And technology has gone so far ahead that it's very different now. And with mobile phones, etc. And also, I feel it especially because I also design lighting for stage. So जब हमने शुरू किया था, it was those dimmers, you know, where you have one dimmer for one light. And then the sliding dimmers came, and now I don't understand the equipment at all. It's all digital, it's very fancy, and I look at it and I say, अब क्या करेंगे इसके साथ? So technology has changed a lot. And of course, things have opened out with OTT, web series. So now it's a bigger dimension of creativity. It's not just the regular. हमारे ज़माने में commercial films थे और art films थे. There was a wave for a few years of art films. Now there's all kinds of films. There's realism, there's sci-fi, there's everything. And the range of roles are...
Bollywood?
I'm talking about Indian scenario. And now, earlier there was just the hero, heroine, hero का friend एक character, फिर heroine की भी कुछ सहेलियाँ, father, mother, villain, comedian. Now it's changed to, you know, various different characters, and there's far more realism. And it's not just about how tall you are or how good looking you are. It's about how talented you are. So there is the old and the new. So we still have our Salman Khan films. And we still have different kind of films with...
experimental films.
And I just saw one recently, Lapata Ladies.
Lapata Ladies, oh God, it's a lot.
It was a delight to watch. So, and you get all kinds of characters there and actors who are doing a great job. So, well, not for the first 7 days.
Okay.
So, because the first time when it happened on the second or third day, and the director told me, आपको shock reaction देना है. तो मैंने दे दिया shot. अभी आप shock reaction में आपको freeze होना है. I said, ये मतलब with today's technology maybe, but I don't know how to freeze. So then I said, I'll try. So I tried, and the camera started panning left, right, tilting up, down. But with the panning and tilting, the director would make the sound of shh.
Achha, the director would make
He would make the sound of... So I started laughing. I mean, with no disrespect to him, it was a system. I didn't know much about the system. I said, yeah. Then he said, you are laughing now. But you see, you'll learn. In a week's time, I learned what. And then I also learned not to blink at that time. Because first I was wondering why not to blink. So in India, we have this system, at least in those days, that if you blink means it's not a good thing. Actually, one of our foremost actors, Dilip Kumar, used to blink a lot. And it's just like when we're in normal conversation, or जब हम सोचते हैं, we automatically blink. It's a normal thing. But here, I don't know, in the system, they are looking for some kind of cleanliness, कि blink नहीं करना चाहिए.
But then the eyes will water then after a certain point of time.
Yeah, and also we do what we normally do, right? So that shouldn't be a problem. But even a fumble is an intentional fumble sometimes, but they don't like that. So we were sort of actually like servants of a system. We were... And what I believed in doing was bringing something to the system. So that doesn't make me very popular. So I would do what I would...
Stand out.
If you're allowed to, if you get that kind of space. But generally everyone's like a victim of the system, even today, when it comes to commercial cinema. Of course, there are exceptions, and OTT has opened up.
Big
so, but for that particular serial, we all got together and we got along very well. The entire team.
Yeah.
I remember once the electricity had gone off and there was some problem with the generator. So we were shooting in one of the bedrooms, my bedroom or probably Mukul Dev's or whatever. And we were all waiting for the shot. 17 actors were sleeping on one bed.
On one bed, 17 actors.
We were just waiting there. Everyone is on top of everyone and we're waiting for the power to come back.
And wasn't it?
Can you imagine 17 actors on one bed?
Oh my God. Ridiculous.
But we were like a family. We are still in touch. So, of course, unfortunately, we lost Rituraj. And that was not a nice place to meet again, at a funeral. But we are still in touch. We had a totally different background. Her background was completely, in fact, I asked her once, I said,
Ekta ko?
Sudha.
Sudha.
I said, your education, my education are so different. Is so different. I mean, she is, commercial, I won't say over the top, but a very extroverted kind of actress, she'd give it all. And I was like Stanislavski and Brando and
Kind of
actor, yeah, and we are in this space together. So I asked her also, Angrezi films, aap dekhti nahi hai kya? She said, Angrezi films, they don't act only. वहाँ तो सिर्फ बातें करते हैं वो लोग. यहाँ तो acting होती है. Look at Rajesh Khanna, look at all Bachchan and all. They totally different. But our scenes, our give and take and all were great fun. Actor and the audience is breathing the same air.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a certain charge in there. But film has its own challenges. क्योंकि continuity नहीं है. So you can do your death scene first in the shoot and then do the first scene later. So one has to keep that in mind, the tune, the note. क्योंकि लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि acting में सुर नहीं है. But just like in music and dance, सुर होता है acting में. So, but it's not that easily visible. Singing में तो मतलब immediately पता चलता है कि यार ये बेसुरा है. Acting में थोड़ा वक्त लगता है कि बेसुरा है या नहीं. So that is difficult to hold on to in cinema. So yeah, but now everyone is an actor and with technology and everyone is a DOP. Everyone is taking their own selfies. Everyone is making Instagram posts.
Yeah, reels.
So everyone, मतलब if someone says, oh, you're an actor, हाँ हम भी स्कूल कॉलेज में करते थे. अभी तो हम रोज करते हैं. तो या पोइट्री, हाँ पोइट्री मैंने लिखा है स्कूल में. But they don't realize that to become a professional, it's like आपने लिखा है स्कूल में, but then you didn't give up. And you carried on and on and on. That's how you become professional. So they say in writing also that a professional writer is an amateur who did not give up. So it's now people are making all kinds of reels, comedy. Some of them are good, some of them. So I don't think acting, directing, cinema, photography has that exclusive label anymore. सब करते हैं. Buy a nice phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do it. So things have changed. Mr. Bachchan could have done it, but he did not.
Yeah.
If Mr. Bachchan chose to do only parallel cinema, he could have changed the system. But you can't point fingers at him. You can't point fingers at anyone because firstly, there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
So we need to start with producers who have integrity. But you can't point a finger at them. If they are putting crores of rupees into a subject, they want to make sure that they get their money back. So I'm not pointing fingers at anyone for what they do, but I do what I want to do. So if I am writing a play, I'm writing a film. So I write something that I want to say to the people. So that's what gives me the desire to write. Now I'm not looking के लोग आएंगे, is there a buzz, नहीं आएंगे. I just pray के people will like what I want to say. You are listening to me. I hope you enjoy what you're hearing. That's all I can hope. But I can't sort of point a finger at you if you don't like it. So we have, like Satyajit Ray said, you know, he said openly that, I mean, our audience, they are idiots. Yeah. And I've also written 2 complete seasons for Yash Raj on television. Screenplay.
Okay.
They went into, so there was a series called Kismat and another called Khote Sikke.
Khote Sikke, yeah. Khote Sikke.
So which I think I must have written, they were 1 hour episodes, so I must have written at least 23 episodes of Khote Sikke and 26 episodes of Kismat. And, but mainly, yeah, playwright. So actually I started as an actor in theatre and I was teaching acting. So I was working as an actor and then I saw the directors working and then I said, ये मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, कोशिश करते हैं. So I started directing. But then I wasn't directing commercial stuff even in theatre. So I said, I want to do something like this. कौन produce करेगा? So I started producing. लेकिन my training was in an English school, जहाँ हिंदी बोलना मना था. So my Hindi was very weak at that time. So when we were doing theatre, I was doing English theatre. Not because it was a political decision कि हम अंग्रेजी बनना चाहते हैं. Background, ये हमारी education है. लेकिन English plays में तो ज़्यादातर शेक्सपियर करते थे या American plays, Neil Simon. Then I started feeling uncomfortable कि
वही same Macbeth, वही
same और हमारे बारे में कुछ नहीं है यार. तो अगर हम कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, हम हमारे मतलब हमारे लोग जो हैं, हमारी जनता है, उसके बारे में कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, बम्बई के बारे में कुछ कहना चाहते हैं. So then what to do? So then I started looking for English plays, but written by Indian playwrights writing about us. There were a few, but I couldn't connect to most of them. So finally I connected with Girish Karnad's Tughlaq.
अच्छा, okay.
So I said, this is good. Then I realized that everyone has done Tughlaq at some stage in their life. I said, chalo, at least let's start. So that's how I started writing plays. Then there were some colleagues of mine, Rahul Dikuna, Anahita Oberoi.
Okay.
They wanted to do a series of monologues. और ये पहली बार हुआ है कि 3 directors, they shared the same stage for half an hour each.
It's a vignette of sorts.
Yeah. Everyone comes monologues, one person, but Rahul directs half an hour, Anahita half an hour, and I direct half an hour.
Yeah.
So I said, besides the fact that it will be fun to work with you, Anahita has been in most of my plays. She's also played my wife in Kapoor and Sons by coincidence. And
By
also
coincidence?
Coincidence.
Cute.
I don't know. They called me. I didn't know. I said, who's going to play my wife? They said, Anahita. I said, oh. We don't need to do actor exercise also. We knew each other.
Yeah.
And suddenly the same thing happened in Made in Heaven. They said, you're playing this videographer's father. I said, theek hai. Acha, who's my wife? You know Anahita Oberoi. I said,
Twice. Once.
Yeah.
Twice it happened, the same thing.
Twice it happened. And once we auditioned for something, it didn't work out for me. And I don't think it worked out for her also. But I asked them, who are you auditioning for my wife? They said, there's this woman called Anahita. I said, this is like, those film star jodis.
But it's good, it's good.
Yeah, it's fun because again, theatre person.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we were doing these monologues. So I said, the only challenge for me would be to write my own monologue. अभी John and Mary in Wimbledon के बारे में कौन जानना चाहता है? It's not, what difference does it make to us? So I wrote it and it was a big hit. So that's how I started playwriting. So I have one big problem. And the problem is, if I've done a certain thing in a certain way and it's a hit, I should be following up on that and making more money. But then it doesn't interest me. Then I want to do something else that is new. Or write a play or film that is, a subject I want to talk about, or something I haven't done before, or which is a learning experience. So I recently acted, it was directed by a young chap called Daniel D'Souza, a play called Red. It's about a painter called Mark Rothko, again a foreign play, written by John Logan, who is a great screenplay writer as well. He's written The Aviator, he's written 2 James Bond films. And I said, besides it being, this is the first time I played a role which I wanted to play. You know, and it was a great experience. I mean, it is, we still have shows happening. And I learned so much about art, fine arts, paintings, about these, you know, painters like Jackson Pollock, Mark Rothko, Picasso, and you know, all those, because then that's our homework. So we study about it. And so I like to do things that I learn something from as well. Anyway, so going back to, that's how playwriting started. And then there was a play I'd written called Black with Equal, which ran for many, many years. And it was probably the only play that was invited twice for the Hindu festival in the South. That led to many things. Then Yash happened. Then Mr. Aziz Mirza told me to write a film. But that didn't work out for other reasons. But he was great to work with. Then Ram Madhwani was, and I sat on a short film script, which again was a great experience for a short film. But the producer fell through, so it didn't happen. I don't think as much as in the West. In the West, they are much more particular about their dignity and their contract, and so I don't think they have that kind of strength. Maybe the star writers do, but I think हमें शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहिए सलीम जावेद की, because I think they changed a lot, and it started with commercial cinema. I think they made sure that their names are written on the hoardings, you know, and not just of the films, and you know, they're given a proper dignified credit. Right. And also, I mean, I'm talking about credits mainly. It's like we have mostly semi-professional theatre over here, and the writer was looked at, theek hai, this is the director, but it's always the writer's play.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's Girish Karnad's Tughlaq. It's not the director directed by Vikram or whoever is not as important. So when we got the rights to do Red, and we went to the agents in the US, so they said, you know, it's John Logan's Red. It's John Logan's font size has to be a certain size compared to the size of the name of the play, and so but it's all coming here now. I just feel that technology has gone too far ahead. I mean, it's difficult to keep pace with it. And now with the AI, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary because I think I know a few friends who are in the voiceover business. They're saying, "Kaam hi nahi hai." So I said, "Kya hua yaar?" Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they teach AI. So, for example, if you're, this is what I've heard, if you're dubbing a Hollywood film into Hindi, so you have whoever, like any star, Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice, you give it to AI, and then the Hindi you teach it, and then he speaks in the same voice. So it's probably better than what you would do. I guess it's working for them. I don't know how much this has sort of evolved, but I think at least the actors in the West are fighting against, you know, they'll have us as actors with a certain face, and you don't need the actors to, you don't have to deal with their tantrums or anything.
Yeah.
So, but I think they've kept AI out as far as acting is concerned so far. But we don't know where we are heading. It's I can't cope with what's happening on Facebook, and I try sometimes involuntarily I give some information, because a lot of people don't read newspapers now.
Barely anybody reads.
अखबार पढ़ते हो आप? नहीं, हमारे घर में आता ही नहीं है. तो ठीक है, तो क्या, how do you know if a play is going on? Facebook, Instagram, and there's some kind of advertising on Instagram. I leave it to the youngsters now. I suddenly feel that's the only thing that makes me feel old. Okay, I don't know what this is. You all handle it. Finally, one has to move on, but we miss them. I mean, we've lost Rituraj recently. He's a few years younger than I am. We spent almost 3 years together, and it's a huge loss. And but we can't keep. We have to get back into our stride, and it's a hard life because as actors, for example, we are the instrument. So we have to keep our body, voice, everything in shape, and our mind. So we have to not get thrown off and lose balance with every challenge or every tragedy that comes, in front of us. So we have to, and we need the ego. So it's a prerequisite for an actor to have an ego. Without that, you can't act. But the trick is not to show it. लेकिन एक्टर और स्टार में फर्क है. मैं एक्टर की बात कर रहा हूँ, स्टार की नहीं. Star is about himself and about the way his personality and all. People are not going there to see their acting. I know a couple of stars I've worked with. They say हमें acting आती ही नहीं. They've been very open about it. Yeah. I mean, they're very nice guys. They're stars. They are your heroes, your film heroes, and all that.
Okay.
So it's about that.
Which letter?
No. The negative stuff I'm not going to talk about.
Okay.
But he was very open and a very sweet person. So, but straightforward. Nahi aati hai. But they are calling me and I'm doing my thing, and he does his expressionless stuff. But it's about their personality, about their looks, about their six pack. तो आजकल अगर आप बॉडी देखेंगे हर एक मेल स्टार की, दे ऑल द सेम. सबके सिक्स पैक्स हैं. तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन देम? आई डोंट नो. सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट एक्टिंग एट ऑल. सम ऑफ देम मैनेज both. Some of them don't need the six pack. But like I said, now every person who walks out of Gold's Gym or Talwalkar also has six packs, na? So सब star बन गए. सब, I mean, ego is not just with the stars, with every young aspiring actor who comes into this field. But then they have to question themselves as to why they are there and what do they want. So there was a time when I knew Govinda very well. So, I mean, he's still he's a friend. His family, I knew his entire family, his elder brother, Kirti Kumar, who then directed film, who himself is a very talented actor. But Govinda was very focused. मुझे हीरो बनना है. Nothing, everything else was out of focus. Then he had that dance and this and that and all, but just, if you ask me even today, आपको क्या बनना है, I don't know. मुझे लिखना भी है. I want to direct a film also. So one gets dispersed. So then obviously all the energies are not in that one thing. But I think those who want to become heroes or whatever they want to become, and they want to do only that, they should succeed, See, when I look at my bank balance, sometimes I feel, arey, I should have done this, or I should have carried on with TV, and it's not like... So, and all these thoughts come only when you're older. When you're younger, you're not, it's that hot blood, you're not thinking about all these things. So, I don't know about success or failure or things like that. But I know that a lot of my work, especially the theatre work, is much appreciated. For me, that's enough.
Exactly.
So I remember once, and I wasn't acting much in those days, तो एक मेरा शो था रोमियो एंड जूलियट जो हम NCPA में कर रहे थे. तो I am one of those courageous directors who sits in the audience to watch my show.
Okay.
बहुत सारे directors बैठते नहीं हैं, they sit in the lighting room. ये light नहीं आया, उसको put it on, and so I used to sit. So, and this is a distinct memory. तो शो शुरू होने से पहले मैं बैठा ऑडियंस में और मेरे बगल में एक औरत थी. शी हैड अ बुरखा एंड शी हैड अ फ्रेंड with her.
Actually, the people who were sitting right
Yeah,
beside next to you.
yeah, the audience. So I was listening to their conversations. So that other woman was telling this lady ke you got me to this play. I mean, is it? I hope it's worth it. एक तो Shakespeare है ना. And she said, it's a Vikram Kapadia play. No, it'll be good.
Oh my God.
So that was, enough.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
if you've touched one person in a theatre, it's enough. Then now you have one car, two cars.
Yeah.
That's up to you. What compromises you want to make for that. But I have balanced it that I've had a decent life, but it's been rare that I don't know where the next income will come from. Or not next income, but not have money in the bank. I got saved once. I think about 30 years ago, there was a serial called Tipu Sultan.
Tipu Sultan, yes. Yes.
Sanjay
It was
Khan.
Sanjay Khan, yeah. Very famous.
So I wasn't acting in it or anything. So that time I was doing only theatre, and I was teaching drama in school and in schools, and I think there was no money in the bank as such. So I said, now what do I do? And all. So I got a call from the production.
Sanjay Khan films.
Yeah.
From the production house.
अब डबिंग करेंगे?
अच्छा.
तो I said हाँ. ब्रिटिश सोल्जर्स की डबिंग है. तो I said हाँ. So they said, I said कब आना है? आप कल आएंगे? I said हाँ. तो I said पैसे का क्या मतलब how it is, we'll give you 1 month later.
Yeah.
They said नहीं रोज हम कैश देंगे आपको. I said कल पहुंच रहा हूँ मैं. So went in the morning and I must have done 100 episodes with them dubbing for those British soldiers. And so somehow I think I've been lucky. Someone up there has looked after me and lucky considering that I haven't struggled and said I want to work. And when I wanted to go to FTI to do the acting course.
Okay.
तो वहाँ बंद हो गया था acting course because there was some strike and all. I think in Nasir's batch or there was some problem. So and I didn't want to go to NSD because when I was 16, my father had passed away. So it was only my mum. So I didn't want to leave her for 3 years and go to NSD. So Roshan Taneja, who was the principal of the acting course at FTI, started his own diploma course in Bombay for 1 year.
Okay.
9 to 6. So I went there. So after getting out of that, I said, now, how to ask, So then I used to ask everyone. So I'm not very intelligent like that. एक थोड़ा सा innate intelligence है जो creatively I can use. बाकी I'm quite stupid.
Yeah.
So I said, कैसे करना है? So they said,
Story of our lives.
you get photographed. And you go to the... So I took my photograph, I went to all Sham Benegal and this and that and I left. So then someone asked me, कुछ काम मिल रहा है? I said, बिल्कुल नहीं. क्या किया आपने? मैंने कहा कि हाँ फोटो दिया. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. ऐसे तो कैसे? No, you have to go and meet them. And I said, I don't have the courage to do all that. So, but then of course, then teaching drama and all, I used to run the house. And then finally TV happened. TV started with बनेगी अपनी बात. That also was with Rituraj, where we worked together. So I think it was that because our theatre and cinema, actually our history and culture comes from the Ram Leela,
Yeah, absolutely.
where Ram is more good than a normal human being. Ravan is, larger than life with his 10 heads. And so that's our culture, which has seeped into our films as well. So things changed. In performances, it changed with Mr. Dilip Kumar, who brought that realism into, the main lead protagonist's performance. And then later on, the even directors like Guru Dutt, and even the songs, the marriage of poetry and melody was something phenomenal at that time. and be still try and be real and genuine about it, which is what Mr. Bachchan used to do even in his early days.
Yeah,
I mean,
Anand and all of that.
he got ridiculous roles like Bombay to Goa and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but he
absolutely.
tried to be, real and genuine in whatever he
Right.
did with complete belief, which is
Absolutely.
so important. So, but Dilip Kumar did what Paul Mooney did for Hollywood, in the 40s, and when there was larger than life acting and all, he brought realism into it. Then the Brandos and
Yeah,
Pacinos
yeah,
came
yeah,
much
yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah.
Here, the education is so diverse that
Yeah.
you get all kinds of cinema, all kinds of theatre, and that's the beauty of India or Bharat or whatever you may call it.
Do?
Yeah, yeah, I totally disagree. I think, firstly, Balaji films treat actors with kid gloves.
I'm sorry.
With kid gloves. So
Okay, kid
anything
gloves.
goes wrong with the shot, they'll catch the director.
Acha.
Even if the actor is an idiot or
Okay.
anything, ये shot क्यों अच्छा नहीं है? Do something. They'll never come to you and say, oh, you didn't act well.
Acha, acha.
So the beauty of Balaji is, even if you are little sort of inexperienced, at the cost of the serial, you get time to improve yourself and become good. Because it's regular work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I think Balaji, people like Balaji, and maybe Yashraj as well, are the best
Paymasters.
paymasters.
Okay.
Balaji would, on the dot
You
of
work with
that,
Dharma also. How's Dharma?
I think they're okay. I think Yashraj and Dharma have this bit of an ego that we are Yashraj and Dharma.
Okay.
So we'll pay you little less, but we are paying
Acha.
you. So you should be happy with. I think they do that with everyone. I don't think Yashraj. I think that's where actors are concerned. Yashraj paid me well as a writer, but I think होगा ना कहीं पे कि हम यशराज हैं,
हाँ 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 वो तो है.
तो यू आर गेटिंग अ रोल,
Dharma, exactly.
ब्रेक दे रहे हैं आपको. So maybe the value is a little less, but there's never delayed payment or anything. Balaji would give 23rd of the month, the check would be ready. And if you're out of town, they'll say, okay, just give us your bank account number or whatever, we'll deposit it for you.
Acha.
And I think that's why a lot of ADs, other production people and all could buy apartments on installment because they know they're getting their money,
On time.
like I bought a car on installment, but I asked them 10 times that I'm playing the lead, but lead can die in an air crash, no, in 2 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I don't think generally payments are a problem in our industry, except that sometimes, like there'd be in television, they say you'll get it 2 months later, but then it's regular after those 2 months. So then when the serial ends, you're being paid for the next 2 months as well. I think the most unemployed people on this planet are film actors.
अच्छा.
क्योंकि फिल्म आपने एक कर लिया, 2 हफ्ते की शूटिंग, उसके बाद when you'll get your next role, unless you're a star, you're always in, people are in queue to work with you. Then you're sitting at home doing nothing. Same with web series. Television is like doing a job. You're there, I mean, serials go on for years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every month you're getting paid. और मानो या ना मानो, Gujarati theatre is another area where you can earn a living.
Just doing plays.
So a lot of them are not interested in doing television. हमें तो पैसे मिल रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Why should we go to some suburban? Now it's beyond Daisar and Nala Sopara and all those. So they are happy, and they are of course theatre actors, so they enjoy themselves. They do an average of, at least at one time before COVID, I don't know about now, they were doing about 30 shows a month. I think one of their biggest venues, Bhaidas Theatres, where Paresh Rawal and all of them grew up,
Yeah.
that's under renovation for a while, and I don't know what's happening there. But it's almost like a professional industry. And they go to every city in Gujarat and Bombay, Pune, here, there. And they have a lot of Gujarati groups, the Jain Mandal and this Mandal, and they buy your shows, sponsor them. So they have, but it's completely like, most of it is commercial, comedy, have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it depends what people want. So money is, but I don't think people who creatively are looking at that.
Yeah.
except of course to survive.
Yes.
Very easy to fall into that trap because say I'm starring in a film and I do things that people are going to pay me crores for. Now, why should I do something different? Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting money for my retirement. I mean, if Rajesh Khanna, he knew that he used to blink like that, and
Yeah.
so then for the rest of his life he did that, and he made his billions or whatever. But then I saw him becoming that. Even in real life, he was.
He used to speak like that.
Yeah,
Sinha became.
I think of what little I saw of him.
Acha.
So it's the choices you make. I mean, even Mr. Bachchan is sometimes a victim of his own mannerism. He knows it works. He knows his voice works. Little more complex than that. For example, let's go to a completely different topic
Yeah.
of South Indian films.
Huh?
Telugu films, Tamil films, Kannada films, whatever, Malayalam.
Okay.
I love them. I
You
think
do?
I think I'm dying to work
It's so misogynistic.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's firstly, first it's their storytelling. It's like when I say I have a story to tell, I want to say this as a playwright. It starts with that. It doesn't start with this is the formula. Now we'll put emotion here, we'll put comedy here. And no, it starts with that. They have their heart and soul in it. And
You
even if
feel
they are,
so?
I do feel that. There, you mentioned the word aesthetics. Their aesthetics are different. If you notice their dances, you notice their photography, their shots,
Yeah.
their lighting and all. It's not just like we do in television. अच्छा यार लगा दो चलो अभी next shot लेते हैं. It's no. There's a lot of hard work gone into it. And I had the experience of working. I had some scenes with Madhu, the actress
yeah.
from
Roja.
Roja, in a Tamil serial.
Acha.
So I was in a couple of episodes, and it's so disciplined and dignified, and they treat everyone equally.
Acha.
It's not that okay now Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, now everyone's looking at Shah Rukh Khan and making sure he's okay, and even if Shah Rukh Khan's not asking for that himself, it's an automatic reaction from. But here it's everyone treated with the same respect and dignity
So
and.
there is no hierarchy as far as the
Not at all. Not at all. It's a lovely feeling. And I wish I knew the Telugu and all. I'd like to do those flips and fall. And
Serious?
they're great fun. When I was in Night Manager, they said Night Manager is the most watched
Yeah.
OTT. But I felt proud of the Night Manager. It was,
Night Manager was a lovely
it was
Again,
well
it was an
made.
adapted screenplay
Yeah.
from that book.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the book.
And there was an English version with Hugh Laurie playing, the lead, which now Anil Kapoor is playing. But lovely setup,
Yeah.
very professionally done. It had its subtle moments, and I was like, that's one of the few, I saw the full series.
Acha, okay.
So I said, let's see what happens. And I liked a couple of scenes of myself as well. I said, theek hai. Not embarrassing. I was in another feature film recently and I was like, okay, this is not what I wanted to do. And again, it was
What
part
was the
of
name of the guy? I have to see that.
And then I fast forwarded the film also. I said, this is not my scene. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll get a film role which is, it's the primary role. And something I want to do. And it's a character with a dilemma. And, it'll be great fun to get into it, work with the other actors. I never feel that, abhi ho gaya, I'm 62. Now this thing won't happen. I mean, Jessica Tandy won an Oscar at 90 or something. ठीक है यार.
Yeah.
If I live a few more years or a decade more, something will happen.
So, you've got a long way to go.
So yeah, so it's waiting for that to happen. तो networking मुझे आती नहीं है. ये director के साथ बात करो, then or hang with a certain.
a certain amount.
I worked with one or two good directors who appreciated my work. I mean, 30 years ago or 40 years ago. But I never hung out with him or as part of his
Time
group.
pass नहीं किया उनके साथ.
And a lot of those who are with me have done. And I'm not saying that he said, I overheard him say when he was looking at the screen after one of my shots, ये तो बहुत अच्छा actor है. And he makes good films and good cinema and all that. But I don't know how to do that. There are certain people, even in theatre, you know, to get sponsors and all. I mean, it's... So I also come from a horse racing world. So my father was a small timer who was very passionate. Yeah, he used to own a share in horses and all. So my school days, before school, I used to go with him to the race course.
Oh, lovely.
Watch the horses practicing. After school, we used to go to the stables and feed the horses and all. Mashq to ki nahi maine kabhi life mein. So when I did homework, I don't know for school, but this was my life. And we were not rich or anything, but we were passionately involved. So where we used to sit in the box in the race course, on my left was Shapur Palanji, Shapur Mistri.
Wow.
Exactly here.
Shapur Palanji.
Shapur Mistri is his father, of course, made the original Mughal-e-Azam, and
Shapur Palanji, exactly.
they own stud farms.
Yeah.
But I couldn't turn to him and say, "Yaar, मैं एक play कर रहा हूँ, मुझे थोड़ा सा sponsor कर ले," you know. I don't have that in me. Or I'm making a play, Mughal-e-Azam and all, which of course Feroz Khan did in grand style. He's like the Sanjay Leela Bhansali of theatre. Of theatre.
Yes, exactly.
Feroz Khan.
If you talk about Feroz Khan, right? Yeah.
So, so I don't have that in me. So I don't repent that. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. You have to accept who you are. There are some people who are good at it. So I don't have that talent.
Of going and asking for work.
No, I don't have that. Even recently, one or two directors, I said, listen, like, for example, Zoya Akhtar. So I did a couple of scenes in Archie's. Good experience, and she's lovely with actors. So abhi do scene kiya ho, now next, at least give me a primary role. Matlab, jokingly, I could bring it up. But more than that, then I'll do my own thing and lose money in theatre. Alia, of course, has always been professional, but Fawad was a thorough gentleman. I mean, he is. He was like fantastic to work with.
Gentleman as in?
Meaning etiquette, his approach to his craft, to working with the director, interacting with us, and he was lovely. So was Siddharth. So in fact, even there, when the electricity we were shooting in Kunur. So some problem with the generator or something. So we had an afternoon free. So we played cricket. So there were two teams. Fawad and Sid were the captains.
Achha.
And we were all enjoying. So we had a good time. Of course, Mr. Rishi Kapoor was difficult to handle because, I mean, God bless his soul. But he was, I mean, you have to be on your toes. Otherwise, he starts, throwing tantrums and shouts. So it's like we were one family and there was one Rishi Kapoor who we used to be wary of. We all, all accepted because great talent, and he was one of those genuine actors who was a star, but tough to handle. So I'm playing like I think the older son. Yeah. So I had to be with him on the wheelchair and all. I had to be very careful, And you say things like, don't hold it from here, hold it from there. And I feel comfortable holding it here, but I can't tell him, like, listen, I'm comfortable this way. So we just do as he says. But it was great. Night Manager was great with
Aditya, Anil.
Yeah, and Aditya Roy Kapoor I've worked with in Kalank as well. Very soft-spoken. And so I think I've been sort of fairly lucky. I've unfortunately not had the opportunity to work with Mr. Bachchan. I was looking for that. I mean, we all, in the 70s, he was like, he changed the system almost, you know, like he was, and real and, you know, gentleman, dignity, voice, education, tall and handsome and everything, you know. So we all used to look up at him. So for me, at this age, everyone after him are like kids. Because we've grown
Even
older.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, मतलब बच्चा है यार.
Shah Rukh Khan bhi?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you think when
That's
you
a bit
come,
far-fetched
because
when you
when we see now, we've grown older.
Yeah.
We've seen Bachchan, so
Yeah.
we think. So I'm not comparing the two, but for me, it's still at this age when I look back, it's a Bachchan film, a Dilip Kumar film. Yes, I would sit and look at it again. After that, with all these newcomers, well, I think any older, I'm a senior citizen. Yeah. Hi, this is Vikram Kapadia, and you are watching me on Bollywood Now.